When we look at the life of Banin, we notice that she had many characteristics. She espoused many great virtues, but there were two that we can really learn from, that highlighted her life. One is that she was the epitome of loyalty. She had loyalty. You see, the tradition, history tells us that as long as Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam was alive, that Imam Ali alayhi salam, he never remarried. It was only after the martyrdom of Fatima al-Zahra that the Imam, he remarried again. And when he did so, and he chose Ummul Banin, whose name was Fatima, to marry her, when he first married her, she came to Imam Ali alayhi salam, and she told him, "O Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ya Aba al-Hasan, do not call me by the name of Fatima." He told her, "Why?" She said, "Because I fear that your children, Hassan, Hussein, Zainab, Kulthum, that when they hear this name, they will remember their mother and this will break their hearts." Loyalty to Fatima al-Zahra. Loyalty because she knew the status of who Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam was. And so she shows us what it means to be loyal. Another is that she was the epitome of sacrifice. This life, brothers and sisters, is about sacrifice. Those who are successful in this life and in the hereafter are those who are ready to sacrifice. Not just in terms of quantity, how much we sacrifice, but in terms of quality, what we sacrifice and how we sacrifice. And Banin teaches us a lesson in sacrifice. She was the epitome of sacrifice. When she gives her sons, her name or her epithet was Banin, the mother of the several sons. When she gives all four of her sons, she encourages them. She tells them, "My dear sons, I want you to go and stand with your brother Imam Hussein. Do not leave him, support him until your final breath." All four. It's easy for us to read about this, brothers and sisters. But can you imagine a mother who has raised four young men with her own hands? She has seen them grow. It's at a time where she wants to take advantage of their youth. She is happy with their youth. They are there to serve her. Yet she tells them what? She tells them, "I want you to go with your brother Hussein, defend him." And they go, each and every one of them. They are courageous. Abbas, Abdullah, Uthman, Ja'far. They are courageous and they go and they sacrifice themselves for the sake of Imam Hussein and for the sake of Islam. And history tells us that when the messenger comes back, when Imam Zain al-Abidin and the women and children, they were coming back from Damascus, they stopped in Karbala and then they headed towards Medina. When they were coming back to Medina, Banin was in the city of Medina. She remained there. That when the messenger Bishr, when he comes out and he calls forth and he says that I am the messenger and the family of the Prophet are coming back, and he announces their return, she comes to him and he asks her, she tells him, "I am here to ask you about the travelers." He asks her, "Who are you?" She says, "I am Banin." He realizes, he knows who she is, and so he begins to offer his condolences to her. "Oh Banin, my condolences on the martyrdom of your son Ja'far." She tells him, "Oh Messenger, I did not ask you about Ja'far. I'm not here to ask you about Ja'far." He tells her, "My condolences on the martyrdom of Abdullah." She says, "I did not ask and I do not want to ask about Abdullah." She tells her, "My condolences on the martyrdom of your son Uthman." She says, "I don't. I'm not asking about my son Uthman." He turns to her. He tells her, "My condolences on the martyrdom of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas." This, it shakes her. It shakes her because she knew that there was something special about Abbas. There was something special. But yet she turns to the messenger and she tells him, "I did not ask you about Abbas. Tell me about Hussein. Where is he?" He turns to her and he tells her, "عَظَّمَ اللَّهُ لَكِ الْأَجْرَ." My condolences on the martyrdom of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein. She falls. she falls. Ummul Banin falls. This was her loyalty, this was her sacrifice to Islam and to the religion of the Prophet and to the way of the Ahlulbayt. And these are great lessons that we learn, brothers and sisters. Men, women, young, old, we learn the significance of loyalty. We learn the significance of sacrifice from individuals, and we are proud to look to their history and to consider them to be role models for us. These great men and women and even young children who were the epitome of loyalty and sacrifice. And history tells us that Ummul Banin alayhi salam, she passed away in the city of Medina, and she was buried in the city of Medina in the Baqi' cemetery, and her grave is still there today. She was oppressed during that time, and today for those who have been there, they notice how, especially out of all of the graves in the Baqi' cemetery, there is a special exclusion of the grave of Ummul Banin, because they know who this woman is. They know that for the return of her great sacrifice, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gave her a great position. And those who have tried this, they know that there are sometimes cases of difficulty, of challenges that we face, and when we turn wholeheartedly to Allah and we plead to Allah for the sake of Ummul Banin, that we are granted our needs.